Welcome to Emma the Cat and Friends, and to this new series that I've been trying out in my channel, where I do like a pick a card reading in regards to various topics in relation to cats, pets, dogs, or any other topic that I think of. And basically what happens is you pick one of the piles. So it's pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4 today. So there's 4 different piles today. So you go to the timestamps and you figure out, okay, which one are you most drawn to? Which card are you most drawn to? And that will be the most likely message for you. So today we will be doing a reading on a message from your dead pet. So this is a pet that is passed on. It could be a childhood pet. It could be a recently deceased pet. It could be any of those things. But you tune into the pile 1, 2, 3, or 4, which draws you the most. And there may even be, you may be like, oh, one pet pile 2, one pet pile 4, like just whatever pops into your mind, just go with that and it will likely have a message for you. So today this one is kind of a sensitive topic because it's painful to lose a pet, right? It can be very like a painful experience, right? So I thought it would be really good to have a message. But this could be from like childhood, like 20 years ago, 2 months ago. The timing doesn't matter. The point is that you feel that the pile is the right pile. So without any other further ado, let us get started. All right, so we'll start off with pile number 1. I'll move the other piles aside when I'm doing that. So pile number 1, and I'm going to see what are we going to get for pile number 1. And then I go into my deck and then I see what comes up. 7 of Cups. And I'm hearing from that is you chose wisely. So there could be a guilt in it, like a heaviness in terms of that you did something wrong with this pet, that you particularly maybe you were too quick to euthanize them, or maybe you let them suffer too long. That's what you feel. But what they're saying, what this pet is saying, is that no, you did not. What you did was perfect, and even if it was imperfect, even if like it wasn't quite what anyone might have wanted, like it was still like the pet was still fine with it. So because there feels like a lot of guilt, like you didn't know how to choose, and there was like a panic. There was like a real like a real panic about should you do this, like should you not do this, should you do this, and it's saying that it was a good like it was a good choice. So room, and there was like a room that we got the card room here that it always seemed to be in, like a room that it always seemed to be in, and you may afterwards have always felt it in this room. You may have felt that it was always there, and yes, it did, like after it was gone, it did continue to be in that room. It continued to almost like it imprinted itself for some time after that I'm hearing that, release the guilt. You have no reason to feel guilty, even if there was confusion, even if like it just seems like there was like such confusion about what do we do we not do this, and then there was like subsequent guilt, like, oh, but we shouldn't have done this, but we did do this. And the pet is saying, like, let it go now, because you may have perceived that, like, in your mind, like, oh, maybe because of this you did like you may feel that you traumatized the pet by not making the right decision, or not like doing the right thing. But you did do the right thing. You did do like it was completely right. There was just like huge panic for some reason. Like there wasn't clarity about what should have been done with this pet. There wasn't clarity. There wasn't like some of it's very obvious, but then it's like going back, should I not, and then maybe financial, but this might cost too much, and then guilt, well, because I can't afford this, like, it could be like one of those insane $7,000 vet bills, and then, oh, but then I can't, should I pay this, and then but if I do this it may not work. So it's almost like there's this guilt, but you can release the guilt now. And also room, it's in a room, and also you could make room. It's you're not betraying the pet to you're not replacing it, and it may be still watching that room. So don't be afraid, even though it was in that room and it still takes up space energetically. Don't be afraid to take it over. Don't take it. Don't be afraid, and don't feel that it's ugly, because I'm hearing it like it got very ugly. Like there may even been like different people who had different ideas about what should happen to this pet, and then and then someone was willing to pay, someone wasn't, and it could have gotten really ugly. And I'm hearing, do not focus on that. And you may have feared that the ugliness around like deciding what happened with this pet made anything, like it made the pet's experience ugly. But the pet understood, and it wasn't like pets are not as easily, like we tend to worry about their well-being, but they tend to be as resilient as humans, sometimes more so, sometimes less so. And they can sort of see the perspective on things too. Like, sometimes they can, sometimes they can't. But in this case, this pet did, and it is, it's almost like it still feels like it's there, and I'm hearing that it could come back as a reincarnation, but it could either way. It's fine to replace, whether it does, whether it doesn't. It's fine for it to still be in the room. Like it's still fine. Like you may feel like it takes up place in the room, but like it may have its own space, and it seems to almost always take up this space. Like it almost took up this space, even if it was a long time ago. There was a room that took up this space, and like a room, like an old childhood room. But if it's current, it fresh. It seems like it, even though it's gone, it feels like it's in that space. But don't be afraid to like change or have something new, a new pet in that space. You are not betraying, even though you feel its presence there. Do not feel that it's not a betrayal. You're not betraying this pet. It fully understands everything. So don't fear in any way that you are betraying this pet in any way. So that's pile number 1. All right, so that was pile number 1. Now let us move to pile number 2. Pile number 2. All right, so a message from your deceased pet. Let's see, what is it? Okay, 3 from the bottom, 3 from the top. Okay. I'm hearing that this pet was it had a really exuberant, like there's some pets that kind of, like humans, like there's some pets that like they fade into the backdrop, right? They kind of fade into the backdrop, and they like to watch, right? Like they watch them approach. But this one had a really powerful energy, and it almost continues from that spot, and saying, like, it kind of continues in that same powerful energy, and it says, choose the best route, choose the best, most, like, do not, like, this pet, okay, what I'm hearing from this pet is this pet was a little bit pushy. and it almost wants you to be pushy as well. It felt that you should always claim what is yours, that you should always claim your best interest. And it's almost like it was a little bit opposite of you. Like, it would almost be like, I'm seeing this image, it would be the dog. Is what I'm seeing the image of. Like, okay, you're walking down the street and there's kind of a shy person, and then the dog's just really pushy, wants to get to know like everybody else, and kind of embarrasses the owner. It's so pushy that it kind of embarrasses the owner a little bit. So I'm hearing that it was kind of a little bit opposite of you. Very, very like pushy. It would get what it was, had no trouble getting what it was what was it had no trouble like pushing for its best interest and its needs to be heard. And it almost feels that you should do the same thing, that you're a little bit, you don't push for what you want, or you're a little bit indecisive. It was almost like you would hold back in being indecisive, where it would not hold back. It was very decisive. So it almost wants to push that message from the beyond. It almost wants to push this beyond, that you need to get what you want. And it's almost like it's from the other side. It's still pushing its agenda. It's still pushing its agenda for you to be the best that you can be, to be like a more pushy. It's almost like when people are, they get together, they're friends with, they get into relationships with people that are very opposite to them. One's very outgoing and one's very shy, right? It's almost like that is the way that this dog was, or cat was with you. It was very the pushy, and you were kind of holding a little bit, liking to think things through a little bit more, trying to, and this was like, no, we're going here. It would almost had its own mind and was really pushy. It almost would push you around a little bit. Like if it's on a leash, it would just pull you here, try and meet people. It almost reminds me of that movie 101 Dalmatians, where like the dogs were just pushy and they got their owners to meet. It's almost like that. Like it's almost like you hold back and it's pushy. It's like an opposite to you. It's like it's very much, this pet was an opposite to you. And yeah, pushy. We've got the Knight of Wands, which is a very pushy energy. It was that way. And I'm hearing that if it ever, and it may, I'm hearing in 30% of cases, it's already returned to you. And you'll know, because it will have the same personality, the same pushy energy. You'll know if your pet is passed on and it's reincarnated, it will be it will be like almost the same personality, like exactly the same, even if it's a different form, even if it's a different breed, even if it's even a different species. Yeah, the King of Wands, Knight of Wands, the wand, pushy fire energy just keeps on pushing out. Like it's like that's the energy, fiery. And you'll know it'll almost be exactly the same in its pushiness. It's sort of almost belligerence. It doesn't mean anything by it, but it really thinks that it's going to like it's going to, it almost wants to bring you, it's almost like doing that to bring you things, bring you things, and to the energy that it felt like for you, and may still feel like for you, is if you have the same like reincarnated pet, is that it's always pushing you off balance. It's always trying to like push you off balance, and it can almost seem like the devil. We've got the devil card. You almost felt like, is this dog the devil? But it's not the devil. This dog is not the devil. It's a dog that is trying to, or a cat, but it almost feels more, I keep on seeing an image of a pushy like dog, like going for going for a walk, and it dragging you everywhere. It just dragging you everywhere. So it, yeah, you'll know if it's the same. It hasn't changed its energy at all. It's the same. It's the same, and it's not the devil. It just really has an assertive energy, and it has. It's like, well, we'll go here. We'll go here. It's very much led by its. It's almost led by its emotions completely, like just living in the moment, just absolutely led by its moment, and it's almost like you're almost someone who thinks things through, kind of holds back, kind of, and it's the opposite of that. But it's still having its agenda to. It wants to change your fortune. Your fortune has perhaps changed a bit, but it's like it really wants to. It really wants to kind of get you out into the world, and it's like it doesn't like your inner conflicts because it has no inner conflicts. It's almost like whatever I feel I will do, whatever I see I will chase. And it's like, and it's almost like it almost embodies living in the now, this pet, just completely living in the now. And it wants you to live in the now too. Yes, it wants to take you out of these chains, like the Eight of Swords. You see somebody's chained there. It wants to sort of take you out of your chains. And it's almost like it will keep on doing that. Like I could see when you're 80, it will come coming back like a fourth time. And almost it almost wants to correct any kind of stuck energy or any kind of afflictive bad cycle that you might be in where you're feeling bad. It doesn't want people, it almost has a mission because humans tend to feel very bad. It almost wants to make you, yeah, people are too, like I'm hearing this pet say, people are too serious. They're too, like with the Queen of Swords, they're too in their heads. They're too, constrained and not free enough. So it's like it almost an antidote to like the lack of freedom. I'm just gonna get some water right here. It's almost like an antidote to the lack of freedom that humans feel. Yeah, and it's just like be free, be me as in you. Not, it doesn't want you to be it, but be free, be me, be free all the time. That's its message. Be free, be yourself, basically, is what it's saying. Be free and be yourself. And it also says you'll know me by if the exact same exuberance, the exact same pushiness, the exact same sort of arrogance and which is opposite to you. So it wants you to be more like it. Whether it's reincarnated again, it wants you to be more like it. Interesting. Pile 3, message from your deceased pet. Let's see. Okay, let's shuffle. I think I'm going to go the other. Okay, the other. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Power play, humiliate, and intimidate. So, I think it has a message about. Okay, the deceased pet has like a message about a villain in your life right now. Because I've got some, like sometimes I've got different decks that I use, and this has words right here. So I got power play, humiliate, and intimidate. So I'm getting that there's a certain interesting. I can hear my cat right out there trying to get into my room. But it's almost like it has a message about a demon in your life. So your deceased pet, your deceased cat or dog is quite wily from the other side. And it almost because it almost makes enemies of any of your enemies, and it's almost like it almost sees you as a sweet, sensitive person that it needs to protect, with the Queen of Cups. It sees you as a sweet and sensitive person that it needs to protect, but it has, like, if you have a villain in your life who's tried to do weird things on you, like intimidate you, make you feel bad, like a boss, just someone in your life, it almost is quite, it has something to say about that, and it's like it almost is intervening and effing with this person is what I'm hearing. It's almost like doing, like, I'm hearing it kind of like very weird. I'm getting a very weird image of it's like its paws slapping this person when they're sleeping and harassing this person that is like this person may not get any sleep. It's somebody, it have to be, it's not just a regular enemy. If this is your pile, it's like it'd be somebody who's not just somebody who's like cut you off on the road and given you the finger. No, I'm talking about somebody who's really like been a real demon in your life, like harassed, like done something that's obviously wrong, not just, you know, flipping you the bird in traffic, or a little bit of an altercation with the neighbor. I'm talking somebody who's really making your life very miserable, and I'm seeing it's almost like harassing this person and like messing life up for them, and like they're not having any sleep. They're not having it, it's like almost like this pet is almost a curse on this person, and it's like, and it's almost obsessed with effing with this person that's effed with you. This is an interesting message. This is a very different message than the other first two piles, but it's like it's like, and I can and it's almost like this is a really wily pet that almost knows witchcraft or energy and weird and intervention. It knows how to do things to, yeah, you are a badass. It has very positive things to say about you, but it doesn't like it when people F with you. So I see this image of it almost like its paws can like do things from the other side in a good way. Like it can almost like it soothes people's in their dreams if they're good. It like and like for you, it's almost like you may almost feel its presence, like stroke, like it was very funny because like you think that with, like, with pets, we're used to petting like our pets, but it's almost like it pets you in your sleep and like and strokes your hair. It may have liked to like stroke things, or really like be very tactile with a cat post or a like piece of velvet or other materials. It was very tactile and liked to do things with its paws. Like it was very like almost like it was very, yeah, tactile with its paws. But I can see it being very nice, but it's with you when you're sleeping, like when you're in the dream world. But it's almost like its enemy, it does anything it can do with this particular enemy that it's really not being good to you. It will like like harass this enemy, and like it's kind of a vindictive cat almost, or it could be a dog too, but it's kind of like that energy of being very vindictive to anyone who is messing with you. It's kind of like it waits. It almost like it doesn't want to. I'm hearing that it's had several opportunities to reincarnate with you again, but it hasn't taken those opportunities because it kind of enjoys the astral realm and being there. Like eventually it may choose to reincarnate with you again. It may choose to, but right now it just enjoys effing with your, like, one enemy in particular, and I just see it like being clawing this enemy, biting them like in its sleep, like like almost sowing seeds of doubt and fear. Like it's almost this form of psychological mind effing that it does with your with your enemy. It like basically like it will go into its dreams and become a monster and give it really weird dreams, make it hard for your enemy to sleep. But yeah, if you've had somebody who's just really been really awful, like genuinely awful to you, like genuinely, not something small, but it's kind of, it's in this, it's not really small, but it's kind of getting into the territory of something bad, and it just it like it makes this person lose sleep, like almost like going after like a gross man, like a really bad like I'm trying to it could be different enemies, but that's kind of what I see as one particular enemy. It's like this sort of gross human being that it's going after, and basically just making their sleep terrible. It goes into their sleep and it enjoys like it's sort of accrued over many, it's like thousands of incarnations. It's really accrued, and a lot of pets can do that. They can develop magical powers. They can develop like magical like powers where they do things in the astral realm, and they basically they they do all sorts of things that like they develop over many incarnations, and they start to know humans and mess with the bad ones. So yeah, you don't want to be in a bad person, because then you get one of these cats and these dogs that goes after you. But it's sort of like Four of Cups, like it's kind of, it's rejected reincarnating. It's had several opportunities to reincarnate with you, and it's like almost like feels that being on the other side or being in the astral plane is more fun. It's more fun. It allows them to almost be more effective, more vindictive, and it's like it's a really obsessive animal. Like it's a very, you may have noticed it was like very different when it was, when you had it. It was very like a little bit like mischievous, but went a lot. It almost goes beyond mischievous. It's almost like it like almost vindictive. You may have noticed it has like a vindictive streak, but it can be a good vindictive if it's against bad people. Like it really can get a little bit like a little bit carried away almost like it. But yeah, know that it's freaked out your enemy on more than one occasion. I'm seeing this image of your enemy. For some reason I just see this gross, like the bad landlord boss type man. I don't know if that's like, it could be any, it could be like a Cruella Deville like female too, but I'm seeing like a gross landlord boss oppressive man type thing who's kind of like just mean and just and it's, but it's kind of like it plays all these mind games with its enemy, or this in some cases it's like a Cruella Deville type enemy, but it like someone who tried to intimidate you, humiliate you, power play you for no reason. And it's like, and it's just like it's harassing this person to no end, almost like other beings are kind of like, give it a rest, like you can. But it's obsessive. It's very, it once it has a mission, it's very obsessive, and it doesn't like to see you sad. It's almost like, it's very like anyone who makes you sad makes it angry. Anything it makes you sad, it makes you angry. And you may have always thought that this pet was very peculiar. You didn't understand, like you sort of understood a little bit, but it's like you're like, you always sense there is something a little bit more complex going on underneath the surface with this pet, and you were very right. But I don't think you fully grasp the whole picture of just how, shall we say, dexterous, or how much dexterity this pet actually, and how much influence this pet actually have. It has a lot of influence. It has a lot of threat. Any kind of threat against you, it will start threatening whoever this person, it will start messing with this person's sleep, and the person will kind of wake up and be almost unassured. Like it does this mind effery with this enemy of yours. Does this? It's really good at mind effery and sleep disturbance. So the person will have like disturbed dreams, and then wake up and be like what was that about? And like it almost like your enemy almost senses that something's wrong, like almost senses like, is there this curse in the back of this enemy's like, is there some sort of something, is something sort of against me? But they don't know that it's your cat. I think your cat, or your, could be a dog. It seems more cat like, but could be a dog as well. But it like your enemy is kind of like, what is this? But this happens a lot. It happens more than people think. Like these really high end pets or beings get really obsessed with a person. If they think that if they've done something wrong, they feel that they get really obsessed, right? They get, if they see a moral grievances, this person will really like this, like they can get really, these kind of beings, and your cat included, or your cat or dog included, your pet. It could even be a bird too. It sounds funny. It could even be like an obsessive bird. Birds can get kind of obsessive too. But it's really, yeah, like a parrot or something. But it gets really obsessive, like really, really, really with this enemy. And rest assured, your enemy you may have felt like could have cooled off, but this enemy knows something's wrong, because this pet is really, really obsessive, and it may come back eventually, but there was always stuff going on that you knew, and you were right. There was weird stuff going on with this pet. Don't doubt it. There was definitely weird stuff going on with this pet. Pile number 4. I'm just gonna make sure that 4. Message from your pet. Message from your pet. I think the 6 from the bottom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What is the moon? The moon. What is going on with your pet? I'm hearing lots of chaos in your life. Lots of chaos, and your pet is with it through it all. Whether it is on the other side, I think in some cases it is reincarnated again to you again, and in some cases it is thinking about it, or it's almost reincarnating, but it's almost like very close to you through all the emotional chaos that you're going through, like a move or like something that is not perhaps pleasant. In some cases it's a little bit exciting, but it's not the most pleasant thing possible. But it's almost like, and it's interesting because this pet may have felt either very chaotic or very calming, but either way it was always trying to bring like a sense of calm for you. Like so you've got the Page and the Page of Swords. Like no matter if, like you may have felt that this pet was sometimes not annoying at times, but it could be kind of, you almost may have felt that it was, and it's interesting before, because the box almost like it got sort of knocked over before, but it's almost like this sense of it was always knocking things over, and always like almost very childlike. It was always childlike, but it really, it sort of was, but it was almost always trying to bring you to like a better a better, oh wow, and then a page, all three, that's really interesting, all pages, 3 pages came out from the deck. Page of Pentacles, Page of Swords, and Page of Cups. So it's almost like maybe right now you feel very, as you move through this change, you feel really childlike. You feel very like almost returned. It's almost like a cycle that is connected to this pet, even in some cases. It's almost like when you had it, you had it for like maybe 10 years or something, 10 to 12 years, and it's almost like you may have gotten a new pet that is the same pet, and it almost feels like another cycle again. It almost feels like another cycle again, and it's like wait and retreat. So it's almost like you're wondering, will this ever end? Will this ever end? And it has something to do with this cycle of this pet you had before. Like it's like another cycle that you're going through, and it's like it's almost like you're going through the same cycle, and it's watching you through the same cycle. And it's almost like it's trying to come into your life again, but in a different cycle. Like it's almost like it's trying to like make the cycle better, make the change better, and it will only, it's almost feels like it was kind of annoying at like not annoying at times, but like the pet that you had was almost like a bit too much at times with the 3 page. It's being very childlike, being kind of chaotic, causing a bit of trouble. But it never meant to be that way. It just had a lot of energy, and it didn't know how to ground it into this realm. And it doesn't want to be. It almost, in terms of cycles, it's kind of like thinking, should it come again? Should it should it go into your life again? And it's basically like wondering if it should, and it will only do that if it won't be, it doesn't want to, it has this thing of being a nuisance, because it kind of knows it was a nuisance. It knows it just had these habits that were really like that were very annoying, but it's almost trying to see if it can like find another body and reincarnate again where it won't have this habits, because it almost doesn't want to have a repeat of something that happened before. It wants it to be better. It wants a new beginning, because the pages are a new beginning. So it wants a new beginning, and it kind of wants you out of a particular cycle, and it thinks, oh, can it help you with the cycle? Or would it just be an inconvenience, an annoyance now? And it's thinking, it only wants to come in when it won't be an annoyance. And it's like, I'll try not to do my annoying behavior again. I know I was a little bit too much. But it just didn't know how to like stabilize. Like when you had this pet, it was like it sometimes just didn't know how to stabilize. It didn't mean to be vexing. It didn't need to have too much annoying energy. It just didn't know how to express itself or ground itself into this cycle. So it's kind of, there may have been sort of a frustrating end to it, or a frustrating run to it, but it wants something different. It's almost thinking, can I try this again? Can I try this again? And it kind of, it like, but it's almost like like it's trying to gauge how it can be and how it can fit into your life if it reincarnates into your life again, or even if it should. It's kind of thinking, should I just like not do that? Should I just but it's saying that it didn't want to be annoying. It didn't want to be guilt. It feels guilt, and it's almost like if you both feel a little bit of guilt, because you are kind of like, oh, this pet is so much at times. It's so much, and you felt guilty for feeling that way, but it felt guilty for being that way too. You almost felt guilt about the way that you were feeling about it at the time, because it didn't know how to conform to like norms, like kind of it just didn't know how to conform to a way that would be, shall we say, conducive of a relaxed environment. It just didn't know how to, or it didn't know how to like integrate into a particular situation you had. It didn't know how to like it got frustrated because it didn't know how to integrate into a particular shall we say, like a like a dynamic. Like maybe there was a new dynamic and it got like a new child, a new person, a new house, a new living space, and it didn't know how to um it didn't know how to integrate into that, and because of that it felt guilty. But then you felt guilty because um you didn't really know how to deal with it. But what I'm hearing is that whatever happens, um whatever happens, it is, don't feel guilty. Don't feel guilty, and don't um like whatever happened, don't feel guilty about being annoyed, because it feels a little bit guilty about its behavior too, and how it just couldn't ground its energy. It just didn't. And maybe it was the breed it matches, almost like it reincarnated in a breed that it didn't know how to deal with. Like it's almost like it was used to being a Saint Bernard over many different incarnations, or like a relaxed dog, and then it chose to be a chihuahua, so it took on all the chihuahua baggage. But it's almost like it was just something about it was a mismatch. Even though you loved it and it know that you loved it, it was just a real mismatch, and things. But it wasn't. It was a mismatch, but it wasn't. There was some sort of situation that was a mismatch, and but yet you love this pet. But then it got a little bit. Things like went. Like it started knocking things down, not acting in a way that was all that good, I guess. But it still like it still loved you, even though it was acting the way that it did, and you loved it too, so it knows that. So that's what we've got for, yeah. So thank you for listening to this. Yeah, these are kind of these are the videos that I'll make more of these videos in the future. I'll see how popular they are. But you know what? Speaking of the last pile, I knocked over some water. It felt like the pet was like always knocking things over, and yeah, I knocked two things over. My didn't even notice that, my water and the hot box. So yeah, that seems like a very chaotic dog, that or maybe even cat. But yeah. So thank you for watching.